Finland is known for its cold and snowy winters, but this year the country experienced its coldest June ever recorded. The average temperature was 9.6 degrees Celsius, which is 2.3 degrees below the long-term average. In some parts of Lapland, the temperature dropped below -7 degrees Celsius, breaking the previous record for June. How did this unusual weather affect the wildlife of Finland? Let's take a look at some of the animals that live in this Nordic country and how they cope with the cold. The Saimaa seal is one of the rarest seals in the world, found only in Lake Saimaa in southeastern Finland. It is also one of the most endangered, with only about 400 individuals left. The Saimaa seal depends on ice and snow to build its lairs, where it gives birth and nurses its pups. The cold June was good news for the Saimaa seal, as it extended the ice cover and protected the lairs from predators and disturbances. In fact, this year saw a record number of Saimaa seal pups born, with 98 counted by wildlife experts. The brown bear is Finland's national animal and the largest predator in Europe. It lives in forests across Finland, except for the Åland Islands. The brown bear hibernates during winter, usually from October to April, but sometimes longer depending on the weather and food availability. The cold June did not affect the brown bears much, as they had already woken up from their long sleep and started to look for food and mates. However, the cold weather may have delayed the growth of berries and other plants that the bears eat, forcing them to rely more on meat and carrion. The reindeer is a symbol of Lapland and a source of livelihood for many people in northern Finland. There are about 200,000 reindeer in Finland, belonging to about 4,500 herders. The reindeer are semi-domesticated and roam freely in the forests and fells of Lapland. They are rounded up twice a year for marking, slaughtering and health checks. The cold June was not a problem for the reindeer, as they are well adapted to low temperatures and have thick fur and fat layers. However, the cold weather may have affected their food supply, as it delayed the growth of lichens, grasses and shrubs that they graze on. The reindeer may also have faced more competition from wild moose, which also eats similar plants. The birds of Finland are diverse and colorful, with over 400 species recorded. Some of them are resident, while others migrate to warmer regions during winter. The cold June may have had mixed effects on the birds of Finland, depending on their habits and habitats. For example, some migratory birds may have arrived later than usual or found less food and nesting sites due to the late spring. Some resident birds may have benefited from the extended snow cover, which provides insulation and protection from predators. Some birds may have adapted to the cold weather by changing their diet or behavior. As you can see, the cold weather affects different animals in different ways. Some may suffer from food shortages or breeding difficulties, while others may thrive or adjust to the changing conditions. The wildlife of Finland is resilient and diverse, but it also faces many threats from climate change, habitat loss, and human activities. We can help protect these animals by supporting conservation efforts, reducing our environmental impact, and appreciating their beauty and value. Finland has experienced its coldest June on record, with temperatures dropping below zero in some parts of the country. This unusual weather has had a significant impact on the economy of Finland, especially the forestry, tourism, and energy sectors. Forestry is one of the main industries in Finland, accounting for about 20% of the country's exports. However, the cold weather has slowed down the growth of trees and plants, reducing the supply of timber and biomass. This has affected the production of paper, pulp, and biofuels, as well as the income of forest owners and workers. According to the Finnish Forest Industries Federation, the cold June could cost the sector up to €100 million in lost revenue. Tourism is another important source of income for Finland, especially in the summer months when visitors flock to enjoy the natural beauty and cultural attractions of the country. However, the cold weather has discouraged many tourists from traveling to Finland, resulting in lower occupancy rates and spending in hotels, restaurants, and shops. The Lapland region, which is popular for its midnight sun and outdoor activities, has been particularly hit by the low temperatures and snowfall. The Finnish Hospitality Association estimates that the tourism sector could lose up to €200 million due to the cold June. Energy is another sector that has been affected by the cold weather in Finland. The demand for electricity and heating has increased as people have turned on their heaters and appliances to cope with the chilly conditions. This has raised the price of electricity in the Nordic market, putting pressure on consumers and businesses. At the same time, the supply of renewable energy has decreased due to lower solar radiation and wind speed. The Finnish Energy Association warns that the cold June could increase the country's carbon emissions and energy dependence on imports. In conclusion, the coldest June on record has had a negative impact on the economy of Finland, especially the forestry, tourism, and energy sectors. The cold weather has reduced the supply and demand of various goods and services, resulting in lower revenue and higher costs for many businesses and households. The effects of this unusual weather could last for several months or even years, depending on how quickly the climate recovers and how well the sectors adapt to the changing conditions.